Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday at 10:30 p.m.
Unaenda wapi?
Matobe, usifanye nifanye kitu nilikuwa ningileta kwa kitu nilifanya hapo siku nyingine.
Wewe ni fruit tu.
Ebu. Ama kama hii chakula hii inafanya watu wanashiba mpaka wanalala.
Kuna mtu amegonga karai teke?
Mimi sijaona mtu amegonga karai.
Kugonga karai teke ni
Ni nani amekuva? Endo kuangalia, nenda kwa kuna wewe.
Matope. Uchodo, tope.
Na napumua.
Sasa pumui namna gani? Mtu utaonaje kama mtu anapumua? Si usikie.
Well, it's the 16th day of December 2024. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Megwe. Unatutizama ukiwa wapi? How is your December coming along? We are easing into the festive season. Christmas is just around the corner. What are you doing? What are your plans? Are you having a good time? But most importantly, we are here to make sure that you are informed on what is happening, and Good Morning Kenya is always ready to give you that privilege. Now, today we are going to have very interesting conversations regarding road safety and also matters to do with a fit for purpose healthcare workforce. Those are two conversations that we are going to have, and for road safety measures, given that transport is one of the economic factors that contribute to the GDP of the country. But also during the festive season, there are times when we have a hike in road accidents. How do we ensure that these accidents are mitigated or prevented altogether? That is Mr. Samuel Musumba, who is an NTSA Road Safety Manager, will be joining me in studio to have that conversation later on in the program. And also there'll be also another conversation revolving around fit for purpose healthcare workforce. That is Reverend Dr. Kelly Oluoch, who is the CEO of the Kenya Medical Training College, will be joining us here on Good Morning Kenya to talk about that conversation. So you want to tune in later on in the program. In the meantime, Ben Troy, Manchester United.
Let me tell you something, Mike. If there is a group of people who are very happy this morning, they are waking up. Kama ulala mapema, they're waking up to the news that Manchester United beat Manchester City in the last, like 3 minutes. Wow. That's exactly what happened. They're very, very happy. It's a, let's say it's a early Christmas gift, bearing in mind that we only have slightly over a week to Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, but Arsenal fans or Manchester United sympathizers like me, and very good Okinyi up there, we are very happy with the results.
Indeed.
Anyway, I'm here to ensure that we keep you afloat with all the latest happening in the world of news. My name is Ben Troinjo. Let's take a look at the news shaping up, the news conversations at this hour. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has forwarded to the ODPP, that is the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, 47 files of suspects of corruption for prosecution. According to a statement by the anti-graft agency, top state officials and former governors and their immediate family members have been recommended for prosecution over theft of public funds. So far, the Director of Public Prosecutions has approved 4 of the 47 files forwarded to his office. In other news, President William Ruto has appealed to Kenyans not to be swayed by those spreading propaganda, particularly those who wish to see the country fail. Speaking during a church service at Soul Harvest Church in Taita Taveta County, the head of state said the country's development agenda will not be derailed by naysayers.
For the last 3 days, President William Ruto has sustained attacks on his critics who have poked holes in his leadership style. Sunday, the message was no different when the president joined congregants at Soul Harvest Church in Taita Taveta County, where he insisted his government was on track in transforming Kenya.
Let us stop the spirit of negativity in our country. We cannot build this nation on falsehood, on fake news, on disinformation, on propaganda. You cannot hate your country so much to the extent that you want it to fail.
The president noted that government programs are being rolled out, citing the last mile electricity connectivity program that is targeting an additional 700,000 households by 2027. Further, he says Taifa Care and the affordable housing program are also progressing well as planned.
Mpango yetu ya social health ama Taifa Care inasonga vizuri. Mpango yetu ya affordable housing imeshika kasi. Mpango yetu ya masoko inaendelea vizuri. And I am confident we are going to transform our country. We are going to change Kenya. And we will shame the devil.
The president noted the food security plan that aims to increase agricultural productivity has resulted in higher production and reduced food prices.
I am a man on a mission. I don't have the luxury to retreat or to surrender, because we must change this country. I have a great dream for Kenya, and a big vision for our nation. And by God's grace, we are going to transform this nation.
Leaders accompanying the head of state urged Kenyans to register for Taifa Care with the Social Health Authority, SHA.
From the president to his deputy, Professor Kithure Kindiki, who has underscored the importance of unity and peace to enable the country address challenges faced by its citizens. Professor Kindiki says the country can only prosper when there is unity. He was speaking in Turkana County on Sunday when he applauded efforts by the multi-agency security agencies under Operation Maliza Uhalifu for improving the security situation in the country.
Professor Kithure Kindiki was in Lodwar Sunday, where he hailed the relative calm in Turkana County, saying these are the fruits of joint efforts and the incessant pursuit of peace.
Want to sustain the peace and stability in North Rift and other parts of our country that had serious problems occasioned by bandit attacks. Na mimi nataka niwaambie, hata kama sasa nimekuwa naibu wa rais, nitaendelea kusaidiana na waziri mpya ili mambo ya security katika nchi yetu iwe dhabiti.
The DP further reiterated the need for peace and unity in the country if the challenges first are to be addressed.
hili tusonge mbele kwa hiyo namna ambayo tumesema, ni lazima tudumishe umoja wa taifa la Kenya. Nimefurahia kusikia kwamba hapa Lodwar kuna watu kutoka sehemu mbalimbali katika taifa la Kenya wanatafuta riziki hapa na wanaishi kwa amani na watu ya jamii ya Waturkana. Hii county imehifadhi wageni ambao walifurushwa nyumbani kwao mataifa mbalimbali. I therefore want to ask the rest of us, other parts of the country, let us emulate what the Turkanas are doing. Tuweke umoja wa nchi, tujue ya kwamba tutafaulu kama tuko na umoja, lakini tukitengana hatutawahi kusuluhisha masuala ya taifa la Kenya.
Professor Kindiki also called for the support of the transformative government programs meant to improve the household incomes for citizens and create jobs locally and abroad through labor mobility.
Rais ameagiza ya kwamba hiyo mpango ya kutafutia vijana wetu kazi kukuwe na usawa ili kila sehemu ya Kenya ipate nafasi katika hiyo program. Na kwa hivyo Waziri Mutua alikuwa akuje hapa, aliahirisha, kulikuwa na matatizo kidogo ya kimipango.
The DP was accompanied by Cabinet Secretary East African Community and Regional Development Beatrice School, among other leaders.
To some politics now, where Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka now says there is no political alliance between him, President William Ruto, and former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Speaking in Gatundu, Kalonzo, however, claimed Uhuru has okayed formation of a coalition ahead of the 2027 general elections. But in Mukurweini, in Nyeri County, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua appeared to change his narrative, saying that Mount Kenya region will not follow in the footsteps of any leader blindly.
The surprise meeting of President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta continued to spark debate in the political scenes. Self-declared opposition leader Kalonzo Musyoka playing down a possibility of the two leaders engaging in a handshake or a 2027 political pact.
Mazungumzo yalifanyika hapa juzi, naona watu wengi walipiga duru. Kwa mfano, taarifa aliyotoa Uhuru Kenyatta alisema yale waligusia mengine ni juu ya umuhimu wa kuwa na in a democratic state kuwa na upinzani marudufu, upinzani wenye nguvu. Hiyo walizungumza.
Kalonzo and his allies, who spoke in Gatundu South, where they graced a church service, instead claimed a political coalition akin to 2002 NARC coalition is in the offing, with Uhuru's blessings ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Former President wetu Uhuru Moyei wa Kenyatta ametubariki. Tuendelee. Tuko pamoja mpaka na Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, tuko na yeye. Pia tuko na Mheshimiwa Matiang'i kwa timu yetu. Mheshimiwa Eugene Wamalwa tuko na yeye kwa timu yetu. Mheshimiwa Natembea pia tuko na yeye.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who spoke in Mukurweini, Nyeri County, also chipped in, though seemingly changing tune by saying the people of the mountain do not follow leaders blindly, but it is rather the leaders who must act according to the people's wishes.
We have been humiliated. We have been ashamed. Our dignity has been defiled. Our pride has been deflated. Lakini tutajipanga. Within a short time, we will claim back our pride and dignity as a people.
As they call on the government to listen to the people's pleas, both leaders separately maintained the Social Health Insurance Fund is not functioning as expected. However, Majority Leader in the National Assembly, Kimani Ichung'wah, while speaking in Kakamega, refuted the claims as mere propaganda aimed at mudslinging the government.
Sasa ukijisajili Social Health Insurance Fund saa hii, uende hapa Ekambuli. Hivyo Mheshimiwa Seka amewaambia, kwa sublocation yako ujisajili. Dakika hiyo hiyo, uende level 1, level 2, level 3 hospital. hata kama hujalipa hata dhururu, unatibiwa free of charge.
Away from politics, Rabbi member of National Assembly Kenga Mupe has withdrawn his provision of transport at funerals over claims that he was promoting death in the area. He said that services will be withdrawn for 6 months to gauge reactions from members of the public before deciding whether to entirely scrap or reintroduce them. Rabbi Deputy County Commissioner Joseph Lengari also warned chiefs against allowing discos at funerals, terming them breeding grounds for teenage pregnancies, alcohol and substance abuse, and gender-based violence.
Kufikia Januari tarehe 1, ile huduma ambayo nilikuwa ninaipeana ya gari kusaidia wananchi, ukiwa umefelewa, ukiwa ni mgonjwa, huduma hiyo nitaisimamisha kwa miezi 6 kuangalia hapa katikati watu wetu wasiweze kufa.
Ule chief hiyo disco matanga itafanyika kwake. Januari mimi ndaanza kuandikiana naye barua. Na hiyo barua kama itakuwa mzuri, mimi sijui kama mheshimiwa utafuata Nairobi kusaidia yeye, lakini mimi ndapeleka yeye nyumbani. Hiyo mambo ya disco matanga sitaki na sitaki.
Now, in recent years, the effects of climate change have exacerbated food insecurity and water scarcity in Kitui County. As crops fail and water resources dry up, the region's farmers face the constant threat of hunger and economic loss. In response to these challenges, an innovative yet simple technology, sand dams, has emerged as a lifeline for farmers in Kitui County. The sand dams now provide a reliable water source for communities that would otherwise experience water shortages. Take a look.
Kitui County, located in southeastern Kenya, is a semi-arid region that has long struggled with food insecurity and water scarcity. Farmers here have traditionally depended on erratic rainfall to sustain their crops, but with devastating outcomes. An innovation is looking to change things for the better. A sand dam is a structure built across seasonal rivers to trap sand and water during the rainy season. The sand filters and stores the water underground, creating a reliable source of water that can be accessed through boreholes or wells, even during dry spells. Peter Gitonga, the County Executive Committee member for Water and Irrigation in Kitui County, says 472 such dams have been constructed in the county.
Once this water is trapped, now the communities around those areas are able to benefit from the water in that captured in that sand dam. And what we are doing in most of the areas is where we have a sand dam, we are also progressively also developing sump wells. So that now we are able to abstract the water in these sand dams, and then we take this water to support domestic use, to support our livestock, and also to support agricultural activities, irrigation activities around these structures.
A sand dam may benefit between 30 to 150 farmers. It depends with the size of the sand dam. A big one can benefit around 150 households.
Bretta Mongangi is the CEO of Irrigation in Kitui. She says rain-fed agriculture is not reliable.
We want our farmers to harvest all year round, to have a good harvest, knowing that it is not only the rain, but they can use their brains, construct samples, because the rivers are fully recharged by our sand dams.
Alfred Musili knows too well about the benefits of the dams. Alfred uses the dam water to irrigate his farm.
Baada ya hii sand dam kujengwa, tumeona manufaa mengi. Maji sasa iko kila wakati. Sasa mambo ya ukulima tunaendelea na kuzidisha uzalishaji. Sasa hizi tunalima kuliko ile kiwango tulikuwa tunalima.
By providing a reliable water source, boosting agricultural productivity, and improving food security, sand dams are proving to be a sustainable and scalable solution for farmers facing the harsh realities of climate change.
Moving on, parents are being urged to strike a balance between worldly pursuits and spiritual life when bringing up their young ones. Speaking during an annual Quran recitation competition that brought together 5 children's homes across the county, religious leaders said the pursuit of life shouldn't distract the young ones from learning and practicing the teachings of their religion.
Jamia Mosque, Nairobi. The mosque played host to the UN Siraj organization's second annual Quran competition for 5 children's homes. One after the other, these young ones took turn in reciting the Quran verses. The judges keen on any slips by the competitors in the different categories. At the end of the duel, Zamzam Islamic Center scooped top prize, followed by Mangu Islamic Center in Mama Dhahabu Children's Home. The judges explained the essence of the competition.
Namkuza kwa madha kwa maisha na tarbia ambayo taishi nayo kwa Uislamu. Maana sisi manhaji yetu ni Qur'an. Na hii kufunza watoto Qur'ani ni sunna ambayo Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ametuachia sisi. Dini yetu mzima tunatoa ndani ya Qur'an.
This second edition of the event drew participants from children's homes to also highlight their plight.
Hopefully 1 or 2 kids might get scholarships to go to Saudi and further their Islamic studies. And even more so, we don't even need that scholarship. If we even get homegrown scholarships where these kids can be empowered, these kids can be taken up in positions whereby they get real-time education, Islamic education, whether it's Islamic, whether it's tertiary, secular, doesn't matter.
Maana sasa hivi watu ambao wanakuwa 50, 60, 70 hao ni jua ambayo inazama. Ama hao watoto ndio jua ambayo inafanyaje? Inachomoza. Wao ndio watoto sasa hivi ndio wanaanza kwa maisha yao. Fanyeni wabakisheni kwa hii manhaji. Hii manhaji ya Qur'an. Na yule ambaye anatembea na Qur'an hakuna kitu ameasarika kwa hii dunia.
Let's now shift focus to Matter Sports, where league leaders KCB winless run continued after losing 2-0 to Shabana FC in a Football Kenya Federation Premier League match played Sunday at Gusii Stadium, Kisii.
Brian Mishira and Aguero Lastborn scored a goal in each half to hand Shabana FC an emphatic win before their enthusiastic home crowd at Gusii Stadium.
Matthew Tegisi! Brian Mishira Migiro!
The win catapults Shabana to 5th place on the log with 20 points. On the other hand, despite the defeat, KCB remains top of the standings on 24 points. Meanwhile, Tusk FC moved to joint top after defeating Bidco United 2-1 at Dandora Stadium. Ryan Ogam grabbed a brace to hand the Brewers the win.
Very composed, utulivu wa hali ya juu. Alichukua muda wake akajiandaa, akajua nikipiga hapa basi Toldo anashindwa kuokota mpira ule. Anaweka goli lake la 11 msimu huu. Kisiwa amemtoka wa kwanza. Anaandaliwa tena Ryan Wesley.
Bidco pulled one back through Simon Munala. Sofapaka played to a 1-1 draw with FC Leopards while visiting Mathare United, drew 2-2 with Bandari. Murangasil returned to winning ways, cuts of their 1-0 victory against bottom side Posta Rangers.
The Yellow Games now, where Kenya darts team emerged victorious as the curtains fell on the darts competition for people with disabilities at the Aga Khan Academy in the ongoing East African Community Interparliamentary Games in Mombasa. The Kenyan team claimed gold in the team event, asserting their dominance in the sport. Tanzania secured the silver medal, while Uganda took home the bronze in the race for that supremacy. This marks Kenya's first ever win in the team title. On the individual front, Tarbo Member of Parliament Janet Sitiene won silver in the women's standing darts category. She triumphed 2-1 over Jessica Ababiru of Uganda and beats Hadija Taya of Tanzania 2-0 before losing 2-0 to Hamisi Mwantatu of Tanzania, who clinched the gold. Ababiru settled for the bronze. In the men's standing darts event, Kenya's George Mbogwa bagged a bronze medal, while Tanzania's Ali Mwata and Uganda's Mumali Mpinde won gold and silver respectively. Further afield, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has said he has no regrets after signing a 2-year contract extension despite the club's current struggles. Manchester City have just have one win in 6 games across all competitions since the Spanish manager's new contract was unveiled last month, keeping him at the club until 2027. Following a series of disappointing Premier League performances, the reigning champions find themselves in 5th place with 27 points, trailing leaders Liverpool by 9 points. They're already out of the FA Cup and are 22nd in the European Champions League table after a 2-0 loss to Juventus, with only the top 24 avoiding elimination. However, the 53-year-old remains ambitious to keep his team among the elite of world football. Just a quick one, Manchester United had a big win against Manchester City in the Manchester Derby last night, hammering the Manchester City 2-1 in the last minutes of the game. Very well, that's where you put a cap on KBC. Good morning. Good morning, Kenya News. My name is Ben Troy. Many thanks indeed for joining us. Don't forget to check out our social media spaces for this news plus much more. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Kanume, kwa nini ukamuumiza Jasiri?
Waongelea kuhusu nini wewe?
Mimi mazungumzo gani? Niache niende Kanume, lakini hebu niache.
Nina hakika Alex, kama ningempata hata mmoja wao angenitambua.
Ati nini? Kumbe mtoto huyu hana adabu kama babake. Hivyo maanisha kusema huyu Karembo ni mfanyikazi muhimu sana ndani ya nyumba.
Ukiendelea kunipigia kelele humu ndani usinilau. Huyu Karembo anaka urembo fulani kakurembe.
Toto naifanya hapa kisiwani mimi najua.
I never heard the music so sweet. I repeat.
Wagwan, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth way the vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cold,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa. I never heard the music so sweet. I repeat.
Wagwan, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth way the vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cold,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa. Hatija money especially ukisonga.
Wait, unaenda wapi?
Matobe, usifanye nifanye kitu nilikuwa ningileta mbao kitu nilifanya hapo siku nyingine.
Wewe ni frute tu.
Ama kama hii chakula hii inafanya watu wanashiba mpaka wanalala.
Kuna mtu amegonga karai teke?
Mimi sijaona mtu amegonga karai.
Kugonga karai teke ni
Ni nani amekuva? Endo kuangalia, nenda kwa kuna wewe.
Matope. Uchoto, tope.
Na napumua.
Sasa pumui namna gani? Mtu utaonaje kama mtu anapumua? Si usikie.
Kalume, kwa nini ukamuumiza Jasiri?
Waongelea kuhusu nini wewe?
Mimi mazungumzo gani? Niache niende Kalume, lakini hebu niache.
Nina hakika. Alex kama ningempata hata mmoja wapo angenitambua.
Ati nini? Kwamba mtoto huyu hana adabu kama babake. Hivyo maanisha kusema huyu Karembo ni mfanyikazi muhimu sana ndani ya hii nyumba.
Ukiendelea kunipigia kelele humu ndani usinilau. Huyu Karembo anaka urembo fulani kakurembe.
Kwa tunayefanya hapa kisiwani mimi najua.
What's wrong with you? Are you crazy, Carolina? Why did you follow me?
What's wrong with you? Now I finally know where you got the money I found.
Amparo? What's the matter? What's the matter? What is it? Rosa! Rosa!
But what's wrong? What happened to her?
We don't know, son.
Look here. If anything happens to Mom, it'll be your fault, Isabel. Do you understand? If anything happens to her,
It's quite hard for me to believe what you're saying. I don't know. There's probably some mistake.
Isabel?
Wildlands.
We're getting married.
Oh, wait. There's more big news.
I've been offered the opportunity to go study with Marcelo Bertrand. He's one of the most famous pastry chefs in all of France.
Did we tell them?
No. What are we supposed to say? Us too? This is their moment.
Yeah, you're right. Not telling anyone until after Marco and Lexi get married.
Yeah, they're getting married. Someday. Okay. There's actually a Valentine's Day version coming up. Find out if you and your sweetheart are compatible.
Today we're gonna have some fun and see how well you and your special Valentine match.
It's the way you look tonight. I think I would know because I wanted the drone to be playing it when it flew in with your engagement ring.
What?
My name is Vivian Dagwa. This is Good Morning Kenya, and thank you for starting off your day with us. Now, we are going to be starting with a conversation that is on fit for purpose healthcare workforce. That is the topic we're having today. That is fit for purpose health workforce. And joining me for that conversation is Dr. Kelly Oluoch, who is the Chief Executive Officer, Kenya Medical Training College. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vivian.
You're well this morning?
I'm very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Let us start this conversation with you defining to us what exactly we mean by fit for purpose health workforce.
Thank you, Vivian. What we mean by fit for purpose health workforce is our graduates should be able to meet the expectations of employers and the expectations of the client. Here means a patient needing care must be able to receive the highest standard of care possible. In Kenya Medical Training College, we have invested in our processes to ensure that the kind of graduates we produce are able to continuously meet the expectation of various stakeholders. And we do that currently. We are not only producing human resources for local consumption, but are also producing human resources to export to other countries. And to us, fit for purpose means, in this case, being able to satisfy the demands of these countries. For example, if a health worker is going to be performing their function in France, for example, they should be able to speak French. Kenya Medical Training College has invested in a language, in teaching a language like French. If the health worker is going to work in German, they should be able to speak German language. And that means that we should be able to invest in training our students at final level to be able to speak German. We are actually working on the same. We have also some other languages like Arabic. For those who want to work in UAE, or Arab-speaking countries. Right now, we have started developing a curriculum in Amharic for those who may want to work in Ethiopia. And we continuously look at where are our workers going to be and what do we need to do to prepare them for such a workforce. In the local workforce, what we do to make sure we are fit for purpose is, for example, now we have rolled out SHA. We need to make sure that the processes are efficient and effective. So we have worked with stakeholders to begin a course in medical health insurance. This is supposed to support the government in ensuring efficient rollout of SHA, to make sure that registration takes place appropriately and as quickly as possible, to make sure that pre-authorizations are properly done, to make sure that processes of claims management are properly done, and to ensure that the whole value chain in ensuring we have a proper working universal health coverage is done. So for us, fit for purpose here means we must be able to support the government agenda in ensuring that the government initiatives are properly conducted through human resources for health that we produce.
Yeah. All right. Now we get the whole understanding of fit for purpose, a fit for purpose health workforce. You talked about exports, you know. You train your students in the sense that they are open, they can be fit, you know, even when they go to work in other countries. But I want to ask the question of, if we look at the ratio of patient and the doctor to patient, or just medical health worker to patients, I feel like we are not yet where we are supposed to be. So when you talk about matters exporting, do you feel like it's a threat to us as a country, you know, matters healthcare?
It is not a threat to our current situation in healthcare in Kenya. The reason is this: Kenya Medical Training College, in the recent graduation, graduated a total of 21,261 graduates. In the last year, the year preceding this graduation, we graduated 22,965. So it means that the institution is producing sufficient number of mid-level human resources for health. Actually, the institution produces over 85% of mid-level human resources for health for the country. We also note that not all of them are absorbed in our counties or private sector. And therefore, the surplus is what we prepare to be able to support other countries who are also struggling with human resource for health. Again, this is good for the country in that we are able to earn foreign exchange. Number two, when these health workers come back to our country after the period of service in other countries, they bring in new knowledge, what we would term brain gain. So that improves the way in which we operate our current local healthcare. And therefore it has double benefit for the country, but also it supports the government agenda of youth empowerment, ensuring that the youths have jobs. So we are able to support the local health workforce and be able to also support countries that need human resources for health.
Yeah. So from where you sit, it's not really a brain drain, it's a brain gain.
Brain gain, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So how does a fit, a proper fit for purpose health workforce for us as a country enhance the overall healthcare quality?
Thank you. What we do in ensuring we have a proper functioning healthcare system is to ensure that we have the appropriate skill sets in the healthcare sector. And that means that we should be able to produce sufficient human resources for health for all continuum of care. For example, preventive, promotive, rehabilitative, curative services. So Kenya Medical Training College has 99 courses that are organized in 18 departments and 7 faculties. We're able to produce human resources that fit all these areas that are expected in a properly working healthcare sector. And therefore, another issue that we do at Kenya Medical Training College is consistent quality checks. Kenya Medical Training College courses are regulated by over 10 regulatory bodies. Additionally, Kenya Medical Training College is a ISO certified organization, and we are also, our courses are certified by Kenya National Qualifications Authority. This assures the public and all other stakeholders that we are producing fit-for-purpose human resources for health that are competent to work in various sectors in our economy.
As it is at the moment, maybe what specific skills would you say are lacking currently, in the health workforce in the country that ensures that we get to meet all the needs that are needed to be met when we talk matters healthcare? What skills are lacking that should be improved on?
We, the Ministry of Health has just concluded in around 4 months ago health labor workforce analysis report. And it shows the ratios that we need in terms of patient to health worker ratios. Again, in this report, we also see the feedback from various stakeholders. And what is there is that most stakeholders want our workers to be able to have more of soft skills that enable them to communicate better with the patient. Another issue that we must enhance is digital capacity of our health workforce. And so Kenya Medical Training College, in an endeavor to improve on this, has improved on its curricula. And at the same time, we have entrenched ICT within all our processes, including student learning processes. That includes an ERP, an enterprise resource planning platform. We also now have an e-learning platform, an e-library that enable our students to be able to interact with technology and be able to work in a continuously evolving healthcare environment.
Right, so right now we know that there was the rolling out of SHA, you know, so it is what is is working right now in the country. You know, there's no more NHIF, so now we're we're using the SHA, right? So probably what are you doing specifically as KMTC in ensuring that you are equipping them? You know, you're equipping the students on matters to do with this as they come to the workforce now.
KMTC, being an institution under the Ministry of Health, has a responsibility to ensure the success of SHA rollout. We as an institution work alongside other institutions and the ministry to ensure rollout in various counties. For example, KMTC is rolling out with various counties in two counties actually right now. And number two, we help in giving public information concerning the information frequently asked questions about SHA. We also, because of our presence in 45 of our 47 counties, and because every single day Kenya Medical Training College students are attached to over 450 health facilities across the country, we are able to support in the rollout, registration, giving public information, and supporting counties to roll out SHA within their various jurisdictions.
Yeah, so you're actively involved in that as well.
In addition to that, we have instituted a new course that is medical health insurance course to support in registration, pre-authorization, claims management, and efficiency and effectiveness in the SHA rollout. Yes.
All right. Also, do we incorporate, you know, patient feedback when it comes to us to be able to also continually just to improve, you know, in the fit for purpose as it is right now, you know, not just from KMTC, just generally if we look at our healthcare systems. Do you feel like we allow that, or we create room whereby there's patient feedback in order for us to just ensure that we are doing the right thing as a healthcare system?
Yes, there's a lot of incorporation of patient feedback, and not only patient feedback, but all stakeholders. The way in which Kenya Medical Training College develops its curricula is through what we would call a Delphi approach, where stakeholder engagement is key in developing and reviewing curricula. And Kenya Medical Training College basically reviews its curricula every 3 years to make sure that they're current in terms of what are the expectations of the health worker, what are our consumers saying about the product we have in the health market, in the labor market. And as a result of this, gaps like communication skills, gaps like integration of technology are consistently being added into our curricula. Gaps like being able to speak languages that initially were not part of what we train at Kenya Medical Training College is now being incorporated to ensure that we consistently evolve to meet ever-changing customer or client expectations. Yes.
And how maybe can we make it better? How well can we make the patient feedback better in order for us to have that?
Is basically to be continuously a listening organization. Being able to put patients first. Being able to ensure that we do not imagine what the patient wants, but actually engage the patient in feedback process so that it is real-time feedback which is collated and organized in such a way that it can be material used to be able to change curricula to support what the patient needs. And not only that, because the technology in healthcare consistently changes, it is also not only just good enough to incorporate patient feedback, but it's always good to look out for various changes in practice, changes in technology that work best for ensuring that the patient is taken care of. So all this needs a 360-degree kind of engagement with all stakeholders, not only patients, employers, with innovation companies, with technological companies, to ensure that all that is incorporated to make curricula better for ensuring that the kind of products we have meet expectation of various stakeholders.
Yeah, and maybe just to still stay on the same, what other strategies do you feel can be implemented for us to improve our healthcare workforce?
The government right now is approaching healthcare in what is called the one government approach, meaning that all sectors should be working seamlessly to ensure that healthcare provision is effective. Health is a very multifaceted kind of sector that does not only focus on one part of patient well-being. There are so many things that affect healthcare. For example, agriculture has a way of affecting healthcare because of food adequacy and food security. So the approach that the government is right now putting in place is to make sure that all sectors are linking to ensure that we have a seamless approach in terms of ensuring that health as it is guaranteed in a safe, quality environment. Yes.
Yeah. How are we preparing our workforce to utilize new technologies? As you've said, it keeps changing. Even in the, not just in the healthcare system, but generally, technology keeps upgrading and changing every other day. So maybe how are you preparing, how are we preparing our workforce to be ready for that? You know, to be ever changing with the changing of the new technologies.
As leaders in health care training, KMTC has to show the way, walk the way and show the way, and be able to ensure that we're able to support our students. Right from registration of students and application, everything is digitalized. We work with KUPS, Kenya University's Central Placement Services, to ensure that admission or placement of students and selection is done digitally. When they report, they register on a digital platform that is an ERP. They also enroll on e-learning platform. They access digital materials in the library through an e-library. We provide seamless access to internet in our campuses. Our students do their continuous assessments online. And so right from the processes, students get to incorporate digital literacy in their day-to-day learning processes. The other way in which we embrace technology is industry academia collaborations. We have companies that work close to us, especially in medical engineering and medical imaging sciences and physiotherapy and occupational therapy, which wherever there is a new technology in the environment, our students get attached. We organize webinars and we consistently have interaction between professionals who are working in continuously evolving fields with our ongoing students. And our students are attached to these industries, and they consistently learn what needs to be done in an environment where they're going to work. And so with that industry academia collaboration, we've been able to keep up with ever evolving technologies.
All right. And probably maybe for someone who's watching right now and they would love to get into the medical, field, get into that workforce, that is what they're looking at. Where would you say is the best place to be in terms of them picking the courses to do right now? Speaking from someone who knows the industry, knows the field, knows where the gaps are, which are the best courses to take right now?
Thank you. Kenya Medical Training College has 99 courses, and Kenya Medical Training College has 97 years of experience in training middle-level human resources for health. This is the best place to be. The reason is we provide over 85% of human resources for health who work both in private and public sector. Kenya Medical Training College was recently awarded as the best tertiary institution in just concluded awards for ICS. And again, Kenya Medical Training College, because of various quality checks, including ISO certification, registration and recognition of its certificates by Kenya National Qualifications Authority, and the presence of Kenya Medical Training College in 45 of the 47 counties makes it the best destination for a student who wants to pursue a medical course. Again, our graduates are well sought after, not only locally for various counties, but also internationally. This year alone, we have processed for export over 3,000 graduates to work in various countries. And this continues to rise, and we continue to get a lot of support from various stakeholders to make sure that our training meets stakeholder expectations.
All right. And on that note, we do take a break. Don't go too far. When we come back, we will continue with this conversation, which is fit for purpose health workforce. Don't go too far.
Wapi?
Matobe, usifanye nifanye kitu nilikuwa ningileta kwa kitu nilifanya hapo siku nyingine.
Wewe ni frute tu.
Ebu. Ama kama hii chakula hii inafanya watu wanashiba mpaka wanalala.
Kuna mtu amegonga karai teke?
Mimi sijaona mtu amegonga karai.
Kugonga karai teke ni
Ni nani amekuva? Endo uangalie, nenda kwa kuna wewe.
Matope. Uchodo, tope.
Na napumua.
Sasa pumui namna gani? Mtu utayonaje kama mtu napumua? Si usikie.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday at 10:30 p.m.
welcome back and thank you for staying with us. With me is Dr. Kelly Olwoch, the Chief Executive Officer, Kenya Medical Training College. Our conversation is on fit for purpose health workforce. Now, Doc, how are we able to enhance, our trainings, in different institutions, the training programs to be ready and very effective in terms of, or in the sense of addressing emerging healthcare challenges? For example, we had COVID. How prepared are our students who soon will be our health care workforce ready for such emergencies where we were not foreseeing it, it just came?
Thank you. The healthcare training needs to be extremely flexible and be able to open up to evolving changes in the environment. And in healthcare training, what we do is to ensure that we are consistently on the lookout for changes and demands in the environment where health workers are going to be. Looking back at the COVID-19, it really taught the organization so much. Number one is that we must be consistently looking at the changes in the environment. And number two, we must be ready for disasters. And number three, that our curricula must consistently be adaptive to the environment. So as Kenya Medical Training College, we recognize that our widespread presence in our counties with 87 campuses is very key in terms of managing calamities, managing emergencies, and managing very rapid changes in the health environment. For example, we note that one of the biggest challenges that the country grapples with is managing accidents and emergencies of that nature. We recently, under corporate social responsibility, have embarked on training bystanders to support accident situations in the country. And here we have actually trained over 1,400 border riders on resuscitation, first aid, and being able to respond to emergencies that exist on our roads and at our home states. So Kenya Medical Training College is not only just focusing on long-term training, but also focusing on key skills that promote health and prevent loss of life that could otherwise be saved if someone knew something about what to do in an emergency scenario. So KMTC is highly adaptive in the way it approaches training and the way it supports communities to be able to respond to emergencies, including accidents. Thank you.
And I feel like that's really important. I feel like every single person should have this first aid skills. Don't you agree with me? Maybe more should be done in that area whereby most people are equipped with at least that. You know how to resuscitate someone. You know what to do when someone maybe is having a stroke, like the immediate first aid. I think we can do more on that.
We are doing it. What we want to do is to make sure that we are able to train over 9,000 bystanders to be fast responders in cases of emergencies. But not only that, households need to be ready to respond and save lives, and as they wait for skilled response from health workers. We frequently encounter chokes in our households. We frequently encounter suffocations. We frequently encounter drowning. We frequently encounter accidents, including cuts, and these are things that can easily be managed by a bystander at home as you wait for response from a qualified health worker. So no one needs to lose life, which can be prevented if someone else has a skill. And Kenya Medical Training College recognizes this, and that is why we, as Kenya Medical Training College, have embarked on ensuring that the communities around us are knowledgeable on what to do in cases of emergencies, and where 1 minute means life or death of a patient, and what these bystanders can do to be able to rescue a dire situation. Thank you.
All right. Now, what is the role of KMTC when it comes to the universal healthcare coverage?
KMTC plays a very big role in universal health coverage because it is the largest trainer of human resources for health. As I mentioned, we train over 85% of human resources for health. Currently, we have a student population of over 66,000. That means that in our training, we will be contributing in a large way to the key pillar for health, and that is human resources for health. By the very sheer number that we graduate every single year, that is over 20,000 graduates, then we ensure that there is adequacy in the human resources for health that is needed for universal health coverage. Further, Kenya Medical Training College is present in 45 of our 47 counties with 87 campuses. This ensures that in every single day, students are attached to over 450 health facilities across the country every single day, and that supports provision of healthcare under skilled supervision. The other issue is the support we give to communities around us in terms of medical camps, in terms of trainings for basic life support skills, in terms of donation of blood, in terms of other community-facing services that support in universal health coverage. We have also, as we have discussed earlier, supported the rollout of SHA. We have supported in coming up with a training in medical insurance. Then that supports efficiency and effectiveness of the mandate of SHA. And every single day, Kenya Medical Training College supports communities through what we call rural attachment of our students to support immunization, promotion of sanitation, and making sure that communities are aware of health choices that they make on a single day. We also train sufficient human resources for health to support primary health care, basically at households through community health assistance, making sure we have nutritionists at household levels, making sure we have public health officers, making sure we have community health workers across the country. Yes.
Okay. As we almost come to a conclusion of this conversation, maybe what strategies can be implemented to improve the retention rates among the healthcare professionals? I know you've mentioned that you get to graduate over 20,000 graduates every year from your institution, and that we have enough, right? Like, we have probably maybe enough healthcare workers in the country, but if we look at the ratio that we talked about of patient to healthcare worker, we're still not yet there. You know, we've not gotten to the required ratio rate. So maybe what more can be done to just ensure that we retain our health workforce? Because as it is right now, I feel like almost all my friends who are in the medical field are not in the country. They leave the country. But we don't have enough health workforce in the country. So maybe what more can be done in order for us to also get to retain? As much as we export, we also get to retain professionals.
There's a lot that needs to be done. Training is only one aspect of ensuring we have proper supply of human resources for health. Counties are supposed to also play a role in their employment. So training is one bit, but employment is another bit.
Yes.
So you may train so much, but counties also need to allocate resources for adequate absorption of human resources for health. We mean here that there should be sufficient budget by counties and deliberate effort by counties to employ human resources for health. Again, there is a tendency for most counties to employ only on the curative facets of human resources for health, leaving out very major areas like rehabilitation, like promotion of healthcare, which are very key in saving resources that eventually are then being used on curative services. So there needs to be a balance in employment to ensure that you look at all the continuum, right from rehabilitation, promotion, curative services, and other diagnostic services. So what needs to be done is a healthy mix of employment to ensure that every aspect of health is taken care of. Number two, the work environment for health workers serve to either retain them or make them leave. So the work environment here is there should be sufficient supply of equipment, sufficient supply of health products that are needed for a health worker to make decisions concerning a patient. In here we mean that drugs should be available in health facilities. There should be capacity to ensure diagnosis is accurate by ensuring that equipment are in place. And we need to have sufficient capacity to make interventions in case, let's say, a diagnosis has been made. We need to have capacity in our health facilities to make sure that the patient is taken care of until they are discharged from the hospital. So essentially, the bit of the hygiene elements of service delivery needs to be taken care of. And more so, we also need to be listening to most of the demands of the health worker to make sure that they are properly retained in our workplaces.
Okay, my final question: what health workforce challenges do you feel you're facing right now, and how can we curb it?
The health workforce challenges that we are facing as a country right now is basically on the employment of qualified human resources for health. In as much as we are training sufficient numbers, we need to make sure that as many as possible get employed so that we do not have cases of burnout of health workers. You have realized of late that most health workers complain that they work for too long. So if we are able to employ sufficient numbers, then it can support us to ensure that health workers work in environments where they do not overstretch themselves. We also need to ensure that we have conversations that continuously improve on the skill sets of health workers. For example, there should be sufficient provision for health workers to develop in their skills and specialize, and therefore enable them to grow and have hope that they will eventually rise in their careers. So there should be a proper arrangement for training that enables those who are already in service to be able to rise in terms of their skills, be able to provide specialized training for our doctors, for example, so that when they go back to the environments where they work, then they are properly prepared to face emerging challenges. The other issue is counties working together, because counties will not have homogeneous skill sets of health workers. So a county A may not have a surgeon, a general surgeon. County B may have a general surgeon. How do we transit services between counties? How do we make sure that counties are talking to each other and that they are able to manage those disparities that exist among them and also share the burden of costs of healthcare? And if this is done seamlessly, then it will be able to sustain the kind of vision that the bottom-up economic transformation agenda is trying to achieve.
All right, I'll allow you to give us your final remarks as we close off.
Thank you for hosting me. Kenya Medical Training College is an institution that provides 85% of human resources for health in the country. We admit students in March and in September. Be on the lookout for opportunities to be admitted at Kenya Medical Training College. We collaborate with groups for this admission to take place, and we would want to ensure that those who are going to get the results for Form 4 should be able to make time to visit our website www.kmtc.ac.ke to be able to get information about how they can apply for courses at Kenya Medical Training College. Again, we also want to wish the country a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as we get into this festivity season. Ensure that as you travel, you maintain proper road ethics to avoid unnecessary accidents on the road. Thank you.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you're the first one to wish them a Merry Christmas on this set. Yeah, and that was Dr. Kelly Oluoch, and as he's mentioned, he's talked about us ensuring that we are safe on the roads, and he is just in line because our next conversation is on road safety measurements, especially during this season, which is the festive season. Mike Migwe is coming up next with our conversation. Don't go too far.
When a woman is given the tools and opportunities to support herself, the impact created goes far beyond her. It creates a cycle of women empowerment where one generation inspires and uplifts the next. For Lydia Wasike, this realization led her to begin the Yomosko organization, an institution that offers young women an opportunity to rise against all odds. Her inspiration came from getting a child at 14 years old and ending up on the streets.
I gave birth at a teenager age. I was only 14 years. Nikapata mtoto wa kike. Yeah, so what I went through ni kitu yenye iliniguza sana because nilipitia mengi sana. Nikikuja kuishi nilikuja baba dogo with my aunt. My aunt alinikaribisha tukakaa naye. But challenges za maisha, kila mtu na maisha yake. Maisha haikuwa rahisi. Mpaka ikanisukuma nikakosa mahali pa kukaa. Nikajikuta kwa street with my baby. Sina mahali pa kwenda, like completely sina, na mtoto ni mdogo. Nilitoka tu nje ya plot. Hiyo place ilikuwa inaitwa Ngomongo. Kitu 30 minutes. Nililia. I think nililia ile uchungu ya huna mzazi, huna mahali pa kwenda. Mama akasikia, akatoka nje akachungulia. Akaniambia sawa, sasa mimi mali naweza kusaidia. I'll take you in kama mtoto wangu. Tukakaa first week, second week akanipeleka training. Akanipeleka kwa rafiki yake. Akaniambia nimepewa msichana, you coach her mpaka ajue kushona. The moment atajua kushona, uniambia amejua kushona, nitajua venye nitamsaidia from there. So nikielekea kumaliza, kaniambia now there's somewhere wana recruit watu mambo na kushona in a certain company just near ilikuwa baba dogo. Can you do that work? Nikamwambia yes of course. Nilifanya almost a year, nikapata something, nikasave for some almost 9 months. Kazi yangu Kariobangi. After kuweka kazi yangu, then maisha tu ikakuwa sawa, like God alifungua milango.
She saw the crucial need to change this narrative by equipping young women with different skills.
Kuna msichana nikamwona anashinda akikuja kila siku asubuhi, anakaa mahali na mtoto amejikunja. Nikamuuliza, una you willing kushona? Akasema unaweza taka kujua? Akasema msichana. Nikamchukua akaanza training hapo kwangu, akamaliza akapata kazi hapo tu kwa soko. So after kumaliza akaleta wengine wakakuja, nikapata wasichana wangapi? 3.
Coming from difficult backgrounds, these women have to undergo mental counseling sessions to help them cope with difficult emotions and break unhealthy patterns that could derail them in the program.
After mental awareness, which tulifanya iko every Mondays, after computer classes wako na hiyo mental awareness, at least wanafunzwa. My motivation is when I just see these girls win. It's all about changing these girls' lives.
Starting with just 3 students in a rented stall, Your Moscow has grown and now offers various technical courses that are considered basic and important.
Our founder started this vision well before 2019, but it was not clearly defined what she wanted to do as per the organization. And now this is when she started to see there's a need to work with young people in these communities that are not very wealthy or anything. The first cohort we had 12 graduates. That was last year. This year we had one cohort that started in January. They finished in June. There were about 20 students. Now we have already begun the second cohort and they will be graduating in December.
With the help of the community, the organization is able to get tutors who volunteer to teach the women.
We are now currently partnering with Life Ministry and Kin International. We also have a few friends, families who come and step in for us. At the moment, we are also trying to get grants from the government, from other NGOs. Yeah, we're just working towards getting the resources to work for the organizations. As Your Moscow, we are privileged, I would say, to be centered in a community organization. We work very closely with the churches and the communities around us, with the Nyumba Kumis and the chairman of different places here.
Though the organization is able to manage the current number of students, nothing is without its challenges.
Unajua, everything ni mambo na resources. Unapata, for the staff, for the tutors, they volunteer. You can't trace a volunteer your entire time. Unapata sasa mwalimu amekuja, amefunza for a month, then anaona sitaendelea hivi, anaenda another one, maybe mwingine anakuja. Hiyo change of tutors pia inaleta ni challenges zenye tunapitia sana.
As per now, we have very many ladies who would like to benefit from the organization, but currently we are not able to accommodate many people because we have a small space. Also, the programs that we have currently running require a lot of resources. We have hair and beauty, we have fashion and design, and the resources are not so many. It is not easy to divide the resources equally among all programs, so we are only able to have the 20 students. That's the maximum we can have per cohort.
Seeing successful stories of women who have turned their lives around and made a good life for themselves, Lydia gets the motivation to push through the difficult days, knowing that each girl empowered is a step to progress in every aspect of society.
Na enjoy tu kuwafunza. Wakishajua kushona hivyo nikiona mtu amejisimamia, that is my joy.
The computer classes are mandatory for all students to help them grow with the constant evolution of digital technology.
I was looking for a job, which it was hard because people who are trained people, they want people who are skilled. And me, I'm just from school, so I didn't have skills. One of the members at Your Moscow, Madam Elizabeth, talked to my mom and they encouraged me to come here. It has built my confidence and I'm getting to learn a lot of skills. I like to teach 1 or 2 people the skills that I've learned to also help them to gain something from that. And also, I'm aiming to start my own business.
For Anne, a young mother of 2, being here has given her a shift in mindset. By interacting with her peers and tutors, she understands that her voice matters and she has the power to break barriers that have held back generations.
Huyu wa kwanza nilipata nikiwa shule. Sasa nilipata nikiwa shule. After kujifungua, everybody in my family wakanitoroka tu. Tangu nikuja hapa Moscow, yani nimeona life kama
imechange. Siko venye nilikuwa before. Sasa naona at least nimejua kushona, lakini nilikuwa najua sana ilikuwa hair and beauty. Sasa niliona hiyo nimejua sana, acha niingie kushona juu hii kushona at least unaweza pata job. Hiyo ndio watu wengi wanaprefer.
Most of these women have shown significant growth owing to the dedication of the tutors and fellow students who encourage them to strive to be better each day.
The growth has been quite a lot. You know, when they come here, some of them are fresh from high school. They've not learned anything apart from our organization, what we offer. Some of them also may have dropped out in primary school or something. So when they come here, we start from the very basic lesson in all their programs. If it is tailoring, we start from the basics of learning about the machine, parts of the machine, how to step on the machine. Gradually, the hair classes we also learn. You can see clearly from when somebody entered and how they are faring on.
Mental health yangu haiko kama venye ilikuwa juu. Last time nilikuwa tu nasema hawa nitawapeleka wapi? Life ni ngumu. Kuna kitu naweza fanya. Lakini sasa hii niko na watu wenye wananitia hope na wananisaidia kwa mental health yangu.
Nilipata kujua hii story about your law school through a friend who is alumni. Yeye pia alisomea hapa. I'm passionate about makeup since nilikuwa na dream from childhood. I wanted to be like Wabosha. Challenge big sana kwa madem ni kupata job. So without the skills you can't get any job.
Lillian Badhi, a successful graduate from the organization with skills on events and decoration, sees how the opportunity has opened new possibilities for her. She can now stand on her 2 feet and support her child.
Tulifanya graduation last year. Nilikuwa nasoma hapa Moscow. Nifanya events and decoration. Sasa nafanya na Nairobi County. But still niko na side hustle yenye nafanya events and decoration. Niko na hizo our clients wananiadvertise kwa our clients wenzao. Mtu kama amekuja nimemfanyia kazi nzuri ananirefer huko. Lydia kuna time ilifika singeweza kujilipia nyumba. Aliona hiyo pain nilikuwa nayo kama kuwa single mother. Kuna mtoto kwa December. Hauna kazi, hauna mbele, hauna nyuma. Mtoto anahitaji therapy, anahitaji vitu mingi sana. So alinichukua kama mtoto wake, akanikombolea nyumba, akaanza kuniprovidea. Ndio akakuja akanileta Moscow nikasoma. Vile alinipata nikiwa, si vile niko by then. Maisha ilikuwa imechapa sawa sawa kabisa. Sasa hivi najitegemea, niko job, nafanya events, nashukuru Mungu. Kitoka home kuja Moscow, kuja ni ile akili ya nimeenda kusoma na nitamake in life. Hata sisi kama like kwa mfano mimi kama CEO kujituma nisingekuwa mahali penye niko.
With inspiration and encouragement from their mentors and teachers here, they dedicate their time to sharpen their skills, knowing that they shall rise against all odds to show the world their strength, intelligence, and transform generations to come.
Mimi kwa mfano ningekuwa niko idle. Leo hii pengine nilishaingia kwa kutumia madawa za kulevya. Ningekuwa niko hali mbaya. But since niliingia Moscow, niko hapa nimesoma. Leo hii niko sawa.
Girls like me to not give up and to work hard and improve in whatever they are doing.
I would urge people that are going through these difficult situations that they should come out and be strong in whatever they are doing. Grasp something, grasp a skill. It will help you, it will motivate you, it will also give you value in your life.
My wish is neza taka sana ni touch so many lives. Like isini limit ni ikwetu ni hapa Saika. I want to go kwenda kabisa everywhere. I want to touch lives. I want to change lives.
What is this?
Yeah, asaga pump.
Sink and broker.
It's called a plunger.
Yes, it's a plunger, but what type?
Kamene, how are you going to discern between a fake gold and a real gold?
Farah, be careful on your way up. Kwa sababu wakati utateremuka, utanipata hapa chini.
By the way, guys, this coming Saturday from 10 a.m., me, Kenyadwi Mutumiti, I will be having a mega crusade in the town.
Teacher's pet. Agi, what did you just say? Nothing. Keep provoking me, huh? Keep provoking me. You've been warned. Talang, talang, talalang.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major health crises.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
It is a cry for hope, a mark of a successful birth, and in most cases, it is a sound that brings forth joy and pride in every home, but most importantly, an indication of the beginning of life. One of Kenya's focus is to provide quality and affordable healthcare services to her citizens, and we focus our attention on a group of often unsung heroes. They are those at the beginning of life, during times of crisis, and moments of joy, playing an indispensable role alongside other healthcare professionals. They are Kenya's midwives. It was at Haven Healthcare in the heart of Nairobi's Rai area where we had the privilege of meeting Mr. Lego, a professional midwife with more than 30 years of experience in caring for Kenyan mothers and their infants. He takes immense pride in his noble profession. For Mr. Lego and his colleagues in the field, midwifery is far more than a profession. It's a vocation deeply rooted in compassion, expertise, and the profound art of nurturing new life. Midwives like him rise each day, not only to bring members of the next generation into the world, but also to support mothers throughout their pregnancy journeys and in the first few weeks of life. Here in Kenya and around the world, midwives play a pivotal role in delivering primary level maternal and newborn health services to mothers and infants. They bridge healthcare gaps and ensure that the next generation is born healthy and in good shape, ready to face the world.
It is a long journey, let me say, with this midwifery. If you remember, earlier we had what we call community health workers and traditional birth attendants. These traditional birth attendants did some good work, but they were limited with the knowledge. They didn't have the Dopplers I've shown you here. They didn't have the basic requirements. How would they know that they were twins? How would they know that the baby carried inside the mama has some deformities? How would they know that there is a cord around the neck? Nowadays the technology has grown, and this has bridged that gap that was there. Now we can deliver safely. We have managed to ensure that mamas are well educated, well knowledgeable about their pregnancies. They know the danger signs. They would rush to hospital and get the care that is needed before things go haywire. So we have really bridged that gap, the gap of not knowing what is next. We nowadays live knowing what is expected.
When Alego is not in his office, delivering newborn babies or mentoring young professionals, he can be found making rounds with a joyful demeanor, ensuring the comfort and well-being of mothers, infants, and sometimes their families. The challenges faced by midwives are immense and can take a toll on their well-being.
I was in contact with a mother. He had not become a mother because he had no living child, because he had 6 miscarriages. So when this mama got the 7th pregnancy, she came to us, and I was lucky to have received her. And we walked the journey. She came when she was only 10 weeks, that is almost 2 months. 2 months as such. So in the 10 weeks, we moved through until 40 weeks. Along the journey, she was being admitted because there was that labor was coming, premature labor. So we had to admit this patient until the last dates. The mama delivered a baby. You see, a mama almost comes out of the coach. You have not gone through the processes of clearing the delivery. She wants to kneel down and to pray before the end of the process. And that one really satisfied me.
Despite these challenges, midwives remain dedicated to their mission of providing safe, compassionate, and holistic care to expectant mothers and their newborns. With a lifetime spent caring for mothers and newborns, Alogo serves as a beacon of inspiration for those in the profession and those aspiring to join it. We leave you with the words of our wise forefathers, reminding us of the profound respect that heroes like Mr. Alego deserve from us. Usitukane wakunga na uzazi ungalipo.
In different stages of human life, from puberty to adulthood, our bodies go through notable changes, such as increased body hair, body shape changes, and incredible growth spurt. Having a healthy understanding of sexual reproductive health is vital for the general well-being of a person.
Was both physical and how emotionally you're feeling about your health. So there's a direct correlation to how your self-esteem, to whether or not you're dealing with symptoms of an STI, to whether or not you feel you've been coerced into sexual activity.
Sexual reproductive health is basically education on sex. That's the simplest way I'd put it.
It's physically how you're feeling about your body, physically how you're feeling, actual raw symptoms, how you're feeling about your body, and then emotionally to how confident you are you experiencing any stigma, and all comes together to bring around the whole entire concept of sexual and reproductive health.
In many homesteads, the discussion around sexual reproductive health is often shrouded in secrecy and sometimes even misinformation. In my quest to find out the truth behind it all, I met Arvin Amukasa, Bani Awor, and Samuel Mibe, who shared their opinions on the subject.
We are not comfortable at all. It's taboo. It's unheard of to like comfortably talk, especially talking about the fact. And the only time we talk about sexual health is when we sensationalize the conversation.
In my experience, a lot of young people don't really like talking about sexual health unless it's with their peers, maybe in controlled settings.
Easier to talk amongst peers about sexual health. It's always much easier to talk to your friends because they're not judging what you have to say. You also get to hear different experiences of what is happening or what's new, what's happening in the sexual space.
According to the World Health Organization, WHO, lack of information on sexual reproductive health is among the causes of unwanted pregnancies, unsafe abortions, and sexually transmitted infections, STIs, especially among the adolescents.
Around COVID, Kenya became third in the world in teenage pregnancies just because COVID was happening. HIV prevalences around people my age is 15%.
The lack of awareness leads to a lot of health issues and challenges because you find that you might have early pregnancies, people have some diseases that they cannot talk about.
There are real-life consequences that from not having the right information that I keep discovering.
The loss of lives is undesirable even among the unseen beings. According to WHO, each year, an estimated 1 million people acquire a new curable STI. The estimates also showed that there are 39 million unsafe abortions globally each year, resulting to approximately 33,000 deaths. With this data in mind, something ought to be done to change this distressing narrative.
Say from teenagers, because even when we're in primary, we are being taught about reproductive health and it sparks some curiosity, even if you're not able to talk about it.
Platforms like our own that try and drive open and honest conversations where you can talk to an AI anonymously and get your questions answered. Second is information, like other partners getting the right information in spaces about the topic. Lastly is and which is harder, is changing our attitudes around sexual and reproductive health. When you give people the information they need, you're protecting them. Not giving them information is harming them, but our mindset is we need to make information age appropriate. Do not tell some people about some things. That's an entire attitude change.
Good to have an open communication and access to information.
A call to action by the United Nations Populations Fund motivated Arvin Amukasa to invent SophieBot, an automated conversation to aid in answering sexual reproductive queries.
AI meaning artificial intelligence. When you're talking to SophieBot, it's not a human being understanding and answering a question. We built technology that could learn from previous questions to answer new unexpected questions.
I've interacted with SophieBot, and so far I can say it's a platform that allows an individual to ask sexual-oriented questions, and they get responses on what to do or what it entails. Yeah, just generally giving information on various sexual topics.
So that's the whole source into it, that you're not talking to another human being to get your answers, you're talking to our technology who can give you consistent answers.
Artificial intelligence, AI, continues to redefine the health sector day after day. Mr. Arvin Amukasa shared with me the other ways AI can be used to improve health operations, enhancing medical services.
Cancer X-ray scans, CT scans. You can automate technology to predict if there are diseases in there. And some cases are projecting more accuracy, better accuracy than humans. So imaging, computer imaging and AI, and especially for health imagery, like it's a huge industry. People are banking big on that.
An investment in sexual reproductive health is an investment in one's future. This journey begins by starting a conversation about sexual reproductive matters, exploring available resources, and embracing the power of making informed choices on the subject.
Try and explore, ask questions, and I think it will give you the right feedback for your information.
The advice I'd give to someone who's trying to learn about sexual health, that they should not be shy about it. Everyone needs to, or has a right to, discover themselves sexually, or be able to be connected to platforms that educate us on sexual education.
Step one is to have open and honest conversation. It's not a time to laugh or crack jokes when you talk about sexual health. It's not a time to sensationalize the topic. It's a time to have sober and open conversations. So have open and honest conversations. And if you're in doubt about the actual facts and figures, ask.
The HIV epidemic in Kenya began gaining attention in the early 1980s. By the 1990s, the virus had spread rapidly, leading to a national health crisis. At its peak, the adult prevalence rate was among the highest in the world. Today, Kenya has made remarkable progress. The adult prevalence rate has decreased significantly, but the virus still affects millions. Approximately 1.6 million people live with HIV, and the challenge remains to ensure access to treatment and prevention for all. In rural regions, accessing care can be difficult. Innovative approaches like mobile clinics and community health workers are bridging gaps in service delivery. Shining Hope for Communities SHOFCO, a grassroots movement based in Nairobi, Kenya, in urban slums, is providing services, community advocacy platforms, education, and leadership development for women and girls. Despite this, SHOFCO is also aimed at providing quality primary healthcare and healthcare education in slums communities where the prevalence of waterborne diseases, malaria and HIV, which is on the rise.
In general, our approach in terms of health service provision is that we are working on two aspects. The first aspect is the community health strategy, and then now the secondary part of it, which is now services at facility level.
In Kibra, the prevalence of HIV is significantly higher than the national average. Limited access to healthcare, coupled with high levels of stigma and misinformation, exasperates the crisis, but SHOFCO has come to bridge this by providing medical care.
My name is Ethi Onditi. I'm a clinical officer and a clinic coordinator in SHOFCO Chandaria Clinic. It's one of the SHOFCO clinics. We have two currently. We have the services that we provide in the clinic include family planning, we have primary health care, we have laboratory pharmacy services. Also we have a CCC which deals with HIV patients and TB patients.
Counseling and support groups play a critical role in helping individuals affected by HIV. In Kibra, community health workers are on the front lines offering not just medical care, but emotional support and education.
We usually give these clients TCAs monthly, or when a client is diagnosed, we will initiate them on drugs depending on whether the client is ready. If they are not ready, we cancel the clients first until when they are ready. So we do baseline investigations, then we start monitoring them on a 2-weekly basis. Then depending on how the client is faring on, we progress them to a month, then after every 3 months. Others will even give them TCAs of up to 6 months.
2 residents from Kibra, Susan Ligare and Bernard Owino, have come out proudly to speak about their HIV status and how they are mobilizing the community to get tested and know their status.
Niligundua tarehe 12 mwezi wa 4 2017, na vile niligundua si mara ya kwanza, nilienda hospitali tu kale ka chemist, nikaenda kupimwa. Sasa ile hali ilifanya nikaenda kupimwa ni ile herpes. Nilikuwa na herpes kwa mwili. Sasa ndio huyo daktari akanituma kwa Shofco nienda nitipiwe huko. Kufika kule nikapata niko na virusi. Si kufa moyo. Nikaingia nikapimwa, tukatatanisha na huyo daktari, lakini nikamwambia lazima utanipima na utanipa result zangu. Nikapimwa, ijapo kwa haikuwa rahisi, lakini nilikubali yote sababu ilikuwa imeshanipata. Nikatipiwa na nikapimwa, nikapata HIV positive, nikachukupali. Hiyo siku ndio nilianza kutumia dawa yangu hiyo tarehe 12 mwezi wa 4 2017. Mpaka leo ningali natumia dawa zangu.
Nilijua kwa kupimwa, hali ya HIV, nikapimwa, nikapatikana niko na virusi. Nilipimwa 2016 mwezi wa 10. Nikapatikana niko na virusi. Immediately nika-enroll kwa dawa. Nikaanza kumeza dawa, mpaka sasa hivi naendelea kumeza dawa. Na wakati ya kwanza dawa ya mara kwanza kulikuwa na changamoto za kawaida za dawa zilikuwa nazo. Kuna effects kidogo ambayo ilikuwa inaja mwili kwa sababu hazikuwa zimezoea mwili. Sasa kuna wakati ilikuwa inaleta shida kidogo, lakini nirudi nikazoea nikaenda dawa mpaka sasa naendelea kwa dawa.
Despite advancements, stigma and discrimination remain significant barriers. Many people living with HIV face a lot of fear to know about their status, which can deter them from seeking testing and treatment. Susan and Bernard help in sensitizing the community on the importance of testing.
Wana Kibira kama hapa Kibira, kila mara huwa nawaelezea, ukiwa mgonjwa si usikue mwaraka wa kwenda hospitali, unameza madawa. Enda pima hali yako, ujue vile uko. Kama uko HIV positive, ndio uanze dawa, lakini usikue una mwaraka wa kwenda kwa chemist ukinunua dawa, na nawaambia waendelee kupimwa.
Kwa shauri yangu nimeona hakuna haja mtu waogope. Ni heri ujijue mapema kuliko ugunduliwe kama pengine umelala chini. Watu wengi watajua sana. Unajua ukienda peke yako ujigundue, utajua mapema. Ukienda kama uko mzima, uko na afya yako ya kawaida, unaenda kama utembea peke yako, unaweza jieleza peke yako, unapimwa, unarudi nyumbani ukijua niko na virusi ama sina. Na wakati utaenda na mtu, unajua watu wengi ambao wanaweka siri. Yeye pengine atatoka siri yako. Pengine atambii mtu mwingine akifikiria na mweleze kumbe bana. Yeye mwenyewe hali yako, alafu aanze dawa.
Women living with HIV are more likely to access HIV testing and antiretroviral therapy than men. This is due to better health-seeking behavior among women and the existence of HIV-related services designed specifically to reach women, such as services to prevent mother-to-child HIV transmission that are provided during antenatal care.
One of the areas that is a challenge, that has a challenge, is on ANC, because when you're testing our pregnant mothers, it is always advisable that they come with their partners. So in most cases, you find that it is the female clients that comes, but their partners are never anywhere. Even in testing in general, it's always the female who are tested more than their male counterparts. Yeah, and then testing in youths is also on the low. Yeah, they are not turning up in numbers as expected. And one of the things that you're noting is that HIV infection currently is becoming common in the youths. Yes, but in terms of testing, I think the uptake is not so good. I think it's because of maybe some of them are afraid, they don't want to be judged, and you know, the fear of coming to a health facility and being seen by someone that so-and-so went here. So I think that is one of the areas that scares them. So we've tried as a facility to put the HIV testing room aside, somewhere that is a bit private, so anyone can walk in there anytime and they get tested. Yes. And then we're also doing a lot of advocacy through our community health promoters and also the support groups that we are conducting.
It's positive, mostly on the factor of females. On the male, we are still struggling because we'll find when you diagnose a female client, you encourage them to bring their spouses. The turnout on the male counterpart hasn't been quite so good, but we keep on trying.
In the fight against HIV, knowledge is power. Every individual has a critical role in ensuring their health and contributing to the broader public health efforts. It's a key step in managing personal health, preventing transmission and ending stigma.
Kwa jumla kwa Kenya sasa hivi ni mtu akitaka afe na HIV akiona stigma kwenda kupimwa mwenyewe agopa, lakini sasa hii kitu ni kama kitu cha kawaida. Ni kama hizi vitu vingine tu unatibia kama hizi za kawaida. Sasa hiki ambacho ni tisha pa Kenya nikaanza peke yake ndio tisha. Lakini sisi kwa wengine kama tuko na hii, watu kama tisha kwetu. Tumeona maisha kawaida, tunaishi kama watu wengine, kasa mtu tukutana pale nje. Tuko sawa na watu wengine hao. Yeah. Hakuna siku ndio sikia mtu ya HIV ameenda malazi hospitali au kwa ward amelala, hapana. Yako sawa kawaida kwa sababu anatembea dawa kwa njia vizuri, akanajua hali yake, unakula. Unajua kuna watu wanasema kukula vizuri. Sasa lazima uko na pesa mingi kukula mzuri. Balance diet ni chakula hata kuna shilingi 50 una balance diet yako na balance inaingiana. Kwa hivyo pengine mtu anasema sina pesa kula mzuri, hapana. Balance diet kuna 50 boba kibira una balance diet yako, unapata afya kawaida, utafanya kazi kama watu wengine kama kawaida. Isipokuwa mwenyewe uko na stigma unaanza kujishuku.
Taking care of oneself with HIV involves a combination of medical management, lifestyle advancements and emotional support.
Kama wale wenye wako na hali kama yangu, wasikifa moyo. Wao watie Mungu mbele na wasiache dawa. Wana time ya kumeza, wasiache. Ikuwe ni kama ni saa 2 ni saa 2 na waendelee. Wakiendelea hivyo hata sisi wenye tu, hata mimi mmoja wao ninaendelea, hata niko na watoto wako negative. Sasa waendelee na mapa morale.
Kenya is on course to end HIV and AIDS as a public health threat by 2027, as directed by President William Ruto. The Sustainable Development Goals aims to end HIV and AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. President Ruto last year pushed Kenya's goal to 2027.
HIV-related commodities are estimated to cost between Kenya shillings 27 or between 27 and 30 billion annually. And owing to a decline in donor support, the funding gap now stands at US dollars 11.7 million. The government is committed to progressively increase domestic funding in order to sustain the gains made so far in partnership with PEPFAR.
The journey to overcoming HIV in Kenya is ongoing. It is a story of struggle, resilience, and unwavering hope. Together, communities, healthcare workers, and individuals continue to fight for a future where HIV is no longer a shadow of our lives.
I would advise the community to come out in numbers because our aim is, we usually say in the HIV clinic, a 95% rule, whereby we make sure in Kenya, 95% of the population have been tested. Out of the 95% that have been tested and turned out positive, 95% of them to be initiated on treatment. Those initiated on treatment, 95% of them, we make sure that they are virally suppressed.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday.
Unaenda wapi?
Matoke, usifanye nifanye kitu nilikuwa ningileta kwa kitu nilifanya hapo siku nyingine.
Wewe ni fruit tu.
Ebu ama kama hii chakula hii inafanya watu wanashiba mpaka wanalala.
Kuna mtu amegonga karai teke?
Mimi sijaona mtu amegonga karai.
Kugonga karai teke ni
Ni nani amekuva? Endo uangalie, nenda kwa kuna wewe.
Matope. Uchodo, tope.
Na napumua.
Sasa pumui namna gani? Mtu utaonaje kama mtu anapumua? Si usikie.
All right, you're watching Good Morning Kenya, and thank you for staying with us. My name is Mike Migwi. Before we get offset, I was to have a conversation regarding road safety, but unfortunately the guest did not make it. But it's incumbent upon us to ensure that during this festive season we observe traffic rules and use the roads responsibly, because accidents tend to rise during the festivities, and to ensure that that does not happen, we need to be observant and mindful of other road users. Vivian, according to a report by the World Health Organization Africa Region Road Safety Report of 2023, Africa accounts for the highest road crash fatalities, which means that people need to be observant when it comes to road safety.
Absolutely, I agree with you. We need to be more observant, and specifically during this time, you know, the festive season. This is when we get to experience most road accidents, unfortunately, most of the times, because everyone is in this mood that is just a festive mood. You want to feel like you're in a hurry, in a rush to do this or that. And I mean, let's just observe safety precautions on the road. You know, just let's take care of ourselves on the road. Do not overspeed, first of all. You know, you better get there the time you'll get there rather than not arrive at all, because you oversped and got yourself into an accident. You know, the people who are traveling up country right now, most people are leaving the cities and are traveling up to their different homes, that we call them shags. People are traveling to shags right now. So the drivers, you know, responsible in driving this matatus or the buses that are taking people to their different destinations, let's just ensure that we are not overspeeding.
Because even road accidents are attributed with as being one of the major causes of road fatalities and injuries. And these are caused by preventable human factors. So overspeeding, if you observe speed, you will be safe. If you observe traffic rules, you will be safe. Be mindful of the person who is also using the road as you are using that road.
Absolutely. And still maybe on that, you know, there's the issue of tiredness too. You know, there are those who travel really long distances, you know, 8 hours, 9, 10 hours, you know, for such, you know, and this one maybe would go to companies that, you know, have this or transport companies rather, you know, you have two drivers, a driver that will reach that destination, and don't use the same driver to take people back. You know, if say you're traveling to Mombasa, you should have a driver from Nairobi to Mombasa, but this same driver should not finish that trip and then start the trip back to Nairobi. You know, at least give the drivers time to rest, because that tiredness too can also cause these accidents that we are talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite long distance. Considering Nairobi to Mombasa, it's a whole long distance, and it's a whole 8 hours. And driving along that road alone, to and fro, is not easy. So I think if you're driving long distance, make sure you take enough rest where you take a stopover.
Absolutely.
That is if you're driving a personal car, because people have personal car and traveling long distances. Make sure you have enough rest. And also, away from driving, whatever you do, do it moderately. Whatever you do, do it moderately. We are in the festive season, and we still want to see you here in January. You know,
and just to back up on that, you know, specifically when it comes to the drinking, I know we're in that season where people say, but they actually call it drink Semba.
Yes,
you know,
drink Semba.
Yeah, and it starts from the 1st of December. Everyone is just, you know, in that spirit of making merry, and people are really drinking. We have to agree on that. But just make sure that you are not drinking and driving.
Yes.
If you're drinking, it's fine. It's your money. You are allowed to have fun whichever way you feel you want to, but just have a designated driver. You know, if you have a personal car, leave your car at home. Go to your drinking escapades, finish, find a way to go back home. Get a cab to get you back home. I think that's the best way to go about it. That way, you observe and not just taking care of yourself, but you're also thinking about the next person. Because you could be there, you're all drunk, driving your car, and then you hit someone who was just about their business, you know? Yeah.
It takes one flicker of a second to change everything. So be mindful. Whatever you do, do it moderately. In other news, Vivian, you are a fan of Manchester United. Consider that as an early Christmas gift. You won.
That was such a comeback. Glory, glory, Man United.
I would have.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
We've really had a rough one, you know, and the fact that we got to beat Manchester City yesterday.
Yes.
That's early Christmas gift to every Manchester United fan.
Yeah.
We got this. I think we are back on track.
You're back on track.
I hope
I would have wanted. I would have wanted to hear the sentiments of Victor and the banter they have with Ray Manyara regarding football. So I'd have wanted to hear that. But consider that as an early Christmas gift.
Definitely. Good way.
Indeed, this is where we
usher Christmas in.
This is where we end the show for today. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, Good Morning Kenya will be back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place. My name is Mike McGood.
And my name is Vivian Dagwa. Thank you for staying with us. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Goodbye.
So Tobongu Lore means welcome back home. Karibu nyumbani.
This festival has become a central event which goes a long way to position Turkana as a top destination for cultural tourism and northern Kenya as a vast territory of abundant investment potential. Through Tobongu Lore, local and international visitors come here while coming home to celebrate the wonders of magical Kenya with us, raising the region's profile on the global tourism map.
What we believe is that humanity was born here in Turkana County because the oldest fossil, the oldest stone tools have been found in Turkana County. This is the reason as to why across the globe we are more than sure, 100% sure, that Turkana is home of human origins and Kenya is the home of human origins.
There is a proposal to put up a project in regard to the human origin sites here in the Lake Turkana Basin. And essentially, the proposal is for a project which will constitute a museum to be able to celebrate the rich cultural heritage of our Lake Turkana Basin. Also, the rich paleontological and archaeological discoveries, which basically constitute the Turkana Boy and many other discoveries that have been made here by scientists. So this project is going to be huge, it's going to be big, because it's going to be able to celebrate all those discoveries and make Kenya the ultimate home of human origin.
I am proud to announce that the government of Kenya has embarked on the development of the Kenya and Home of Human Origins Museum and Science Park, a transformative project that will be established at Nomortunga in Kalokol as a world-class center for scientific research, cultural tourism, and ecotourism. Scientific discoveries such as the Turkana Boy and the world's oldest stone tools have solidified Kenya's global credentials as the first home of modern human beings. When completed, the museum and science park will celebrate these milestones, enable visitors to travel back in time to explore the origins of humanity and experience early technology.
Kwa kalisha yetu hii anafanya sisi kukumbuka maneno ya kitambo ile wakati na kana babu yetu alikaa nakaa pamoja na baba yetu
na kilipita kuendelea kwa jike.
Tunaona kuwa kuna amani hapa ndani na tunaomba Mwenyezi Mungu tuzidi kuendelea hivyo ndio tupate amani. Hii kukutana inasaidia kujua maana ya mila ya Turkana, wasipotee kwa mila yao, warudi ili waongee lugha yao hiyo moja Turkana.
Sisi tunafurahia sana kwa sababu ya hii culture ya Tobong Lore. Inatusaidia sana na imefanya sisi pia tutaweza kufundisha watoto wetu kwa sababu watoto wetu kama sasa sisi wa Samburu watu wanaongea Kisamburu na ni Waturkana. Tukiwa kule tunaitwa Waturkana, tukija hapa tunaitwa Wasamburu. So kwa sisi naona inatupatia motisha.
Tukiwa hapa tunafurahia kwa sababu wana preserve culture yao sana kutuliko sisi watu wa Dauni, wana preserve sana na hiyo inatusaidia hata sisi tunafaa tukutane pamoja kama tamaduni zetu na tuungane pamoja, hata pia sisi tukue na sherehe kama hii itakuwa inaleta watu wote pamoja.
Hata sisi tumeona makabila mbalimbali sisi Maturkana. Tunafurahi sana. Kwa hapo sisi tunafurahi sana. Tunatamani hata kila mwaka awekenge tu. Ani tupanye tujuana ani kila mtu anajua kabila fulani.
Culture, ladies and gentlemen, is not static. Rather, it is a living, creative, and dynamic expression of a society's values and a society's aspirations. The UNESCO frameworks highlight the need to protect traditions passed through generations and promote creativity in a globalized world. Tobong Lore embodies these principles, uniting cultural expression with global connectivity to create economic opportunities and ensure that traditions thrive for years to come. Beyond celebrating our heritage, the festival fulfills the aspirations of many by creating various opportunities and delivering invaluable benefits to the local economy.
Mimi ni mfanyabiashara, haswa sana biashara yangu ni hawking. Natoka Kitale. Sisi tumekuja hapa biashara. Mimi kwangu hii culture inanisaidia sana na imenisaidia pakubwa na pia imeweza kutujenga.
At iConnect Kenya, we work closely with handcraft artisans, bead makers, and fashion designers. We help to bridge the marketing gap for the local-made products that are made in Kakuma, generally Turkana, and the refugee community. We came here at Tubonglore Turkana Festival so as to showcase the products that are made in Kakuma by the refugees and the host communities that are based in Turkana County. Kuja Tubonglore imetusaidia kuweza kupanua our market kwa sababu products tulikuwa tunauza kule Kakuma, lakini sasa tunapata watu wateja wampya wanakuja wanunua products kutoka hapa, na pia tuna exchange contacts and pia watu wana place orders ambayo wanaweza kununua baadaye hata kama tutarudi Kakuma.
Tubonglore sisi kama wanabiashara imetusaidia kwa sababu tumeuza zile vitu zenye tumekuja nazo. Tumepata customers, client different. Wengine wanachukua namba, wanataka location ili wakuje washone zingine. Kwa hiyo Tubonglore kama mimi, sisi wanabiashara tutakuja kwa sababu tumeona hizi biashara zetu watu wanazinunua.
The period between the 23rd and the 26th of October was a period whereby the hustlers and the people at the bottom of the pyramid, the people selling water, the people selling the local cuisine, the local food, be it the hotel industry, it has been a moment of economic empowerment for the people of Turkana County.
We're looking forward to the next Tubonglore, and we aim to bring more artisans so as to experience this exhibition.
The Ushanga Initiative is a unit within the State Department, and as you can see, Turkana County is one among the 10 Ushanga counties. They have the beads, the beadwork, that is a source of livelihoods for the women in Turkana County. They do the beading, they do this beautiful artwork, and they sell so that they make a living. And this is the lowest hanging fruit for us as government in terms of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
Tulikuja hapa Tubonglore ili kuja kushowcase hizi vitu ambavyo mnaona hapa hivi. Sisi tuna kazi yetu mostly tunafanya maneno ya ushanga. Tunatengeneza ushanga kwa kutumia utamaduni ambao tulikuwa yetu ya Waturkana. Hii shanga imetusaidia in the growth and development of our economical standards. So it has raised our livelihoods as women in Turkana County.
The Ushanga Initiative targets women and girls in bead making, and then also linking them to markets. We work in structured groups, and that's the cooperatives. And so we are targeting, having talked to the county cooperative officer, right now there are 3 cooperatives that have already been registered, but 30 are in the pipeline to finalize the registration. But our target here is about 50 cooperatives. The women and the girls have showcased what we trained them, and they've done such quality work, and you can see people are selling from their stands. Livelihoods have been changed, even here in Turkana.
Kalisha yetu anafundisha watu kukaa na amani. Kilikuwa kukaa kwa msituni. Amefundisha watu hata kujuana makabila na makabila. Ameleta watu pamoja.
Beyond celebrating our heritage, the festival fulfills the aspirations of many by creating various opportunities and delivering invaluable benefits to the local economy.
The point of the cultural festivals is to create cohesion, unity, and love between the communities that live within Turkana County and the neighboring counties. Since it's an annual event, we're trying to see how we can do things differently in the next year and the coming years. It's as you can see, this homestead is an artwork that has been there for many years, celebrating the festival. Together with the county government of Turkana, we're trying to see how to inculcate the aspect of digitization so that someone out of the country can also watch and see and celebrate this amazing week of the Turkana Cultural and Tourism Festival, what we call the Tobong Lore. Welcome back home.
Let us remember that Tobong Lore is our collective call to all humanity in our neighborhood, as well as farthest reaches of the earth, to come home and join us as we celebrate humanity, protect our shared home, and cherish our cultural heritage. Let all the world know that no visa is required to come home, and that Kenya is full of magical surprises to delight everyone.
Ndio maana sisi naita hapa, naita Kalisia, tunasanyana hapo naita Tobong Lore. Ni hivyo basi, hakuna stress.
Unaenda wapi?
Matoke, usifanye nifanye kitu nilikuwa ningileta mbao kitu nilifanya hapo siku nyingine.
Wewe ni fruit tu.
Ebu. Ama kama hii chakula hii inafanya watu wanashiba mpaka wanalala.
Kuna mtu amegonga.
Njoona mtu amengonga kalai.
Kugonga kalai teke ni.
Ni nani amekuva? Endo uangalie, nenda kwa kuna wewe.
Matope. Uchodo, tope.
Na napumua.
Sasa pumui namna gani? Mtu utayaonaje kama mtu napumua? Si usikie.
What is this?
Asaga pam.
Sink and proker.
It's called a plunger.
Yes, it's a plunger, but what type?
Kamene, how are you going to discern between a fake gold and a real gold?
Farah, be careful on your way up. Kwa sababu wakati utateremuka utanipata hapa chini. By the way guys, this coming Saturday from 10 a.m. Me Kenyajui Mutumiti, I will be having a mega crusade in the town.
Teacher's pet. Agi, what did you just say? Nothing. Keep provoking me, huh? Keep provoking me. You've been warned.
Telang, telang, telalalang.
I never heard the music so sweet. I repeat.
Well, go on, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth wave the vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cold,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa. Hadija ai, mani especially ukisonga.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday at 10:30 p.m.
Kalume, kwa nini ukamuumiza Jasiri?
Waongelea kuhusu nini wewe?
Wewe mazungumzo gani? Niache niende Kalume, lakini hebu niache.
Nina hakika. Anaiti kama ningempata hata mmoja wapo, angenitambua.
Ati nini? Mbona mtoto huyu hana adabu kama babake?
Hivyo maanisha kusema huyu Karembo ni mfanyikazi muhimu sana ndani ya hii nyumba.
Ukiendelea kunipigia kelele humu ndani usinilau. Huyu Karembo anaka urembo fulani kakurembe.
Mtu anayefanya hapa kisiwani mimi najua.